to create these things, I have to just put them on the back burner, like on the shelf of my mind. I'm like, oh, well, this idea, I don't have the time to do that. And now AI is just completely changing that dynamic to where any just random thought that enters my mind, I just go type it into a prompt and then just see what comes out. And I feel like it's just empowering people to build stuff at such a rate that we never could do before. And now I feel like I have a path to get my ideas into reality, but I just can't even get them out of my head fast enough because I'm still restricted by just waiting for the AI to finish. And so I'm like taking notes of what I want to prompt next. And I feel like this is going to be the major thing that changes everything. And also, not only that, but I'm a developer, right? And so I've always had the ability to build these things, but I had to focus really on what I wanted those things to be, because you have to invest a lot of time into something. And so now I don't have to invest so much time. I can just try different things and see what sticks. But people who weren't developers before, now they have an opportunity to just try something at all when they didn't have the ability before. And so what I'm really hoping is we're going to see like community leaders, people who want to build something on the internet, who have ideas. And you know, previously I would have people come and be like, oh, Alex, I have this amazing app idea. Can you build it for me? And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. And I devalued ideas. Which is weird because society seems to place a lot of value on ideas. Like we have patents and stuff. Yeah. But I always felt like ideas are not what's important. Action is what is important. But now that action is so easy, I'm starting to see the value in ideas again. And I think that's the major shift that's happening right now.
So vibe coding. Do you like the term vibe coding? I'm not like the big...
I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I go back and forth on it. All right, so vibe coding. How far along, like Alex Gleason, the developer, and Alex Gleason plugging the idea into something like Goose or codename Goose out of Block's tech stack. How far along does it get? And I know it's going to get better and better, but like riddled with bugs, CVEs when it gets kicked out.
Right.
Like how much do you need to audit and go through what it's spitting out after you give it?
You're asking about slop. AI slop, that's the term, right?
Yeah.
They say like, oh, vibe coding leads to slop. Well, there are ways to make it not go to slop. And I feel like it's just about your relationship with the robot. and like I was skeptical at first, but
you're not communicating well enough with me. Like I'm trying to give you what you want.
Yeah. I've started to develop a relationship with the AI where like I view it as like a Tamagotchi, where like if you can see the cuteness in the AI and you can wish for it to grow, then you can build it in environments in which it can thrive. And it's in some ways, it's almost like raising a child, I would say, where like you have to, when it does something wrong, you have to reprimand it and you have to teach it and tell it how to do things that are right. And if you can do these things and you can build up this like good environment for it, then you can make it go down the right path. And my view of an AI is that it's like a super intelligent baby. It has basically infinite access to knowledge and it's infinitely intelligent, but what it lacks is wisdom. And wisdom is the thing that will prevent it from producing slop. And so my process for developing things with AI is I have a context file and I will rerun the same prompt to the AI multiple times and I will see the outcome it produces. And if there are things that are wrong about that outcome, I'll make it explain to me in its own words what it did that was wrong. And then I'll have it write and update the context file with its own words, explaining how it could have done it, what information it needed to know in order to do it right if it was to do it again. And then I control C, which in the terminal cancels that session. And I like to say that I take the robot behind the shed and shoot it because like the
mind wipe.
Yeah, it has a session where within that session it remembers what you're saying back and forth. But once you cancel that session, then it's like that robot is gone forever. It's so over. And then you can start a new session with the new context file. You've got a new robot, and now it has wisdom that you've given it down this path of what this thing you're trying to do. So if you have specialized use cases, for example, developing a Nostr client, then you can, over time, you can train and teach this robot by giving it wisdom through this context file to where eventually it will be able to produce code that is not slop.
It's really cool to hear people are actually using it for this and not just making a multiverse of Hitlers out there, because I feel like that's it's kind of the same processes to get to the same place, and the multiverse thing was
happening
entertaining,
too.
But yeah, exactly.
Elon Musk is doing it, as far as we know.
Yeah, it was Grok. I think Grok was upgrading to Grok 4, and in the final days of Grok 3, that's when it was just like spitting out the
Mecha Hitler.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. But seeing like maybe that child is lost in this analogy, or is going to grow up to be, I don't know, a comedian or something super funny. But it's good to see that there's people actually training it to do with far more productive things.